univariate analysis, bivariate, and multivariate. Right? Univariate analysis is said to be if you are working on a single variable. So you are analyzing on a single variable, then it is called as univariate analysis. If you are working on the two variables at a time, then it is called as bivariate. And if you are working on the multivariate, then it is called as multiple variables. If you are taking the multiple variables at a time and you are working this, it is called as multivariate analysis. So, and that too, univariate analysis will be done separately for continuous variables and for discrete variables. For discrete variables, you have to do separately univariate analysis. For continuous variables, you have to do separately. For example, for continuous variable, univariate analysis, you are going to take the univariate analysis, means you are going to work on the one histogram. Histogram is applied only for the continuous variable, not for the discrete variable. So for continuous variable only, you have to apply the histogram. And the second one is box plot. This is also for continuous variable only, because 25 percentile, 50 percentile, 75 percentile, all these things can be calculated for only continuous variable. For discrete variable, you can't apply. Discrete variable, you can just go with respect to pie plot. Second one is bar plot. These are the two plots which we are going to apply for the discrete variable. So when we are working on the real time, what you have to do is, whatever the data set you have taken, in the data set, first you have to divide the entire data into two parts. Means for continuous variable and discrete variable. Means dividing means not as the data frame. You are going to take as a list of continuous variables. Which are the columns are list of continuous variables are there. You have to take as a list. Separate them. Similarly for discrete variables, separate them. List of discrete variables. Now you have to proceed for the continuous variables with univariate, bivariate and multivariate. And for the discrete variables, again, you have to do the univariate, bivariate and multivariate. Whatever the analysis and what way of analysis you can do, you have to do the maximum. There is no fixed pattern for these particular things. Okay. So it is going to depend on the given data. For example, in the given data, I'm having with respect to 10 continuous variables may be there, or 20 continuous variables might be there, or only 2 continuous variables might be there. So it depends purely on the data set. So what we are going to do, we are going to load the data set using the pandas. Using the pandas, once we load the data set, and we are going to see the info, that is information about the data frame, that is entire data set, and we are going to understand our data. Whatever the data they have given to us, we are understanding. That is called as data understanding, along with the data set understanding. These two things we have to do in the pandas. So data understanding is nothing but understanding each and every variable. What is that variable? And sir, whether it is a continuous variable or discrete variable, without seeing the data, you have to tell. Based on the variable name, you have to decide, but not by seeing the data. For example, mileage of a car is there. In my given data, 16, 18, 20, and 17, 14 is there. So this means that it is there is no decimal value. It means that it is a discrete count label. Not right. So it is mileage means, which is a continuous variable. It is not a discrete variable. You are not going to analyze the bar chart. How many cars are having 14 kilometers, exactly 14 kilometers. You are not going to check how many cars are having exactly 16 kilometers. How many cars are having 18 kilometers. You are not going to check like this individually. You are not going to count like that individually. If you want to count like that individually, first you have to convert them to discrete variable. Discrete categorical. You have to convert and then you have to proceed. So already I have shown you what is meant by transformation. That is histogram, how to convert that skew distribution to normal distribution. And I also shown you the encoding and discretization. So now using these techniques, you are going to change the variables. Okay. So first we are going to see the histogram. And by seeing the histogram, we are going to get a conclusion whether it is a normal distribution or skew distribution. Just checking. You are going to check. Okay. Here you have to clearly understand, very clearly you have to understand few things. The first one is the business problem understanding. The first step is business problem understanding. First you have to understand very clearly what the business problem is. What are the various, you ask whatever the questions you can. For that problem, you are not able to understand, means you ask what are the questions, but you have to get full clarity on the business problem. Without clarity on the business problem, you can't even start the data science project. You have to ask number of questions. What is the use and where we are going to apply this? Whatever the questions you are getting in your mind, each and every question answer should be available. Generally, in the company, if you are getting some questions, means we'll not think with our human brain. Why? Because the thing is that in my human brain, so multiple questions will be running simultaneously. If I'm discussing with you also, in my brain, something is running as of now. In your brain also, you are listening to me, you are understanding, but in your mind, something is running. So in our brain, something will be running continuously. But your questions, whether I have taught this question or not, sometimes what we feel is, actually I have got this question, only I have forgot. You will say like this. When you have that question, that immediately write in the notepad. Right? Whatever the questions you are getting, write in the notepad. So immediately write in the notepad and check the answers. Make sure you are having for every question the answers. Before starting of the project itself, that is called as business problem understanding. Second, you have to go with data understanding. Data understanding means the given each and every variable. Understanding each and every variable is called as data understanding. Whether it is a continuous variable, whether it is a discrete variable, what is the minimum value, what is the maximum value, how it is going to be, understand each and everything. So for example, if you take the liver patient data set, understand what is meant by with respect to gender. Gender means it is the with respect to either male or female. So apart from male and female, can I have anything else? Transgender is available. So apart from these three, is there anything else is available? If anything else is available or not, if you know, means then in your data set, apart from male, female and transgender, if they have given something like dot, then you'll understand, this dot is some missing value. But instead of living as it is like space like that, they have kept dot. Then you are going to treat these dots as missing values and you are going to replace them. For example, there is some kind of NAO, something they have written like this, NAO. What is meant by NAO? In the gender only, NAO, what is NAO? From their perspective, NO is there. From their perspective, it is saying that no output is available. From their perspective, it is missing value. Whether the answer is yes or no, some people will think that no is one of the category. Okay, they'll think that whether yes or no categories are there. Similar to that, in the gender also, no is one of the category they'll issue. And analysis will be made wrong. So you have to see with respect to the gender, what is meant by gender, what is, and what are the different categories we are having in this. So understanding each and every variable very clearly is called as data understanding. And what would be the minimum, if it is a continuous variable, what would be the minimum value and what would be the maximum value? Example, earlier I have told you mileage of a car. Generally, what would be the mileage of a car? Any car. The basic car of, if you go with the high-end cars like Benz car or Audi car or something, sports car, let us go with minimum to minimum 4 to 5 kilometers. A maximum, if you take also, you can have only 28 to 30 kilometers. Max, that is the maximum. If you take more than 800, that too without AC, if you go miss. If with the AC means, it will be only with of 24 kilometers or 25 kilometers. Now, this understanding whatever is called as mileage, and generally for the cars, what would be the mileage is, understanding each and everything is called as data understanding. You have to understand in your data set. In the data set, whatever the data set they have given, each and every column name, understanding of them, each and everything very clearly. Okay. And by taking the data set understanding also, means shape of the data, info of the data, and describe function by writing the describe, by using info and by using describe. These are the two major things which we are going to use generally. df.info gives us what are the categorical columns and the continuous variables like float or object. Object means categorical data. It is very clear. Float means continuous variable. That is very clear. Float means continuous. That is clear. And object means, if you are having object means, that is categorical data. That is very clear. These both are very clear for us. Whereas the int only having the problem. when there is a inter, we are having the problem whether it is either can be with respect to continuous or discrete count. There is two possibilities are there. For this particular variables which are having inter, then you have to understand that particular variable very clearly. Is that clear? After understanding each and every variable very clearly, divide the continuous variables into one list. Take into one list. And discrete variables into one list. With this, your first part will be completed. The given data has been understood clearly. And data set has understood clearly. With this, the initial thing will be completed. Now, after this, what we are going to do? Now, we are going to start the EDA, Exploratory Data Analysis. The next step comes under Exploratory Data Analysis. Now, in this Exploratory Data Analysis, what you are going to do? You are going to check each and every variable, understanding of each and every variable. Like understanding each variable clearly. Miss, here what, sir, here also you have told understand the variable. Here understanding the variable is what is meant by gender, that understanding. Here understanding each variable means in terms of in gender, you are going to have entire data. Na? For example, total 600 records are there. Here you have to understand what is meant by gender. What is gender? Example. What is gender? You are understanding here. Here, total 600 records. Out of gender, in 600 records, how many of them are male, how many females, and how many transgenders are there? This you have to see here. Okay, in my total data set of 600 records, 600 rows, 300 to 400 records are male, 200 to around 180 records are female, and 20 records are transgender. So like this, you have to understand each and every variable, their category wise. For this exploratory data analysis only, we are going to make the plots. If you make the exploratory data analysis and plots like this is called as descriptive analytics. Means you are describing the given data, entire data you are describing. This is called as data analyst role. If you know Python, for programming all these things, you know Python. And for extracting the data, you know SQL. And if you know this Tableau, these three tools, if you know means you are called as data analyst. Your work will be up to here only as a data analyst. With this, the data analyst role will be completed. There will be no predictive analytics. Only descriptive analytics will be there. Descriptive analytics means he is going to describe the entire data. Okay, this is my data and this has been given, and he is going to describe. Okay, like this. In my data, in this class, how many students are there? Describe. How many students are there? Both online. How many various options are there? Offline students, online students. Total of offline plus online, how many students are there? Around 80 students are there. Out of 80, how many males and females are there? And out of 80, how many of them are BTech students and how many of them are non-BTech students? And how many of them are with respect to IT, from IT background, and how many of them are non-IT? How many of them are experienced people? How many of them are non-experienced people? How many age people are less than 25? How many age is greater than 25? If you analyze like this, what happens? Why age has came into my mind? Why non-IT has came into my mind? Because if I understand my data very clearly, according to that, I can design the class. I can explain so that it will be very easy. If already high level people are there, everyone are from IT background, everyone knows Python coding very clearly, then why I have to explain the basic part, that much of stress, why I have to give? For me, at least 2 or 3 classes will be saved, right? Initial classes. So already they are familiar with high level concepts, means I can go on next level. If they are not familiar with IT completely, zero level, means I have to start from different way. So by understanding the students, according to that, I am going to frame the content. And according to that, I am going to explain. The more I explain, the more the good feedback I'll get. If I assume in a wrong way, see, the students are very from scratch level. They don't know IT. They never had done the coding. But I am going with a high level. I am having subject, that is okay. But students are not able to understand. Then what is the use of trainer? Subject is different, training is different. I'm having a good subject at the company. That is secondary. My company work I'm doing anyways. That is secondary. Training. So for students, they have to understand. In that way, you have to tell. Means first you have to understand about the student. According to the student, you have to deliver the lectures. Right? For that, you have to make number of questions in your mind. Okay, how many students are less than age 25? If more number of students are with respect to aged persons are there, for them, they'll not have the tendency to catch very easily. Whereas youngsters will learn very fastly. The things they will learn very fastly. Whereas with respect to aged people, they will not learn the new things very easily. That is the reason after 5 years or 10 years, they can't be considered as the freshers. Though they are ready for the salary also, company people will not encourage because the reason is these people cannot adapt the new things. Whatever the old things they are having already the experience, those only they can continue. New things they can't adapt easily. That is the reason the company people assume by default. How they are assuming, sir? How they can know that one miss? They analyzed. No one will come with the conclusion that this is going to happen. First, they will take the past data. In their interviews, they have seen, with multiple interviews, they have seen. Tomorrow, if you are the HR, and tomorrow, if you ask the questions for 22 years or 24 years person, and ask the same question for 34 years person, both of them has got that same training and same level of certifications, everything same. But ask the question for 24 years person and 34 years person, you will feel the difference. Easily, you can see the difference. Though both of them are ready for doing the fresher job also. Both of them salaries are same, but still, these people cannot adapt the new things. If you ask the same question, whatever discussed in the class, everyone will say. If you ask the new things differently, the way of thinking of these people will be different. The way of thinking of these people will be different. This all the analysis we are going to make. So how we are going to make is based upon the requirement. In this class, I want to get very good feedback. Means first I have to understand the students level. So for the understanding the students, I will ask multiple questions. Sir, what is your background and from what experience you are having? What type of experience? So many questions so that I will understand. So if any one of the student comes to me and he says that, sir, already I'm having 6 years of experience. Can I shift now to data science? Means first question is, what type of 6 years experience you are having? Past experience, what is the experience? Now, whether that experience will be considered in the data science or not. If it is considered, means I'm going to say that your experience will be considered if it is a relevant project. If your experience is not considered, means I will say very clearly that your experience will not be considered and you have to join as a fresher on. Right? So, just understanding each and every variable very detailedly is called as exploratory data analysis, which is also called as descriptive analytics. Descriptive analytics means whatever the data they have given to us, understand them, don't modify them. For example, missing values are there. How many missing values are there? In the, for example, let us assume 600 records they have given. In this, 10 missing values are there. Up to that only your part. Don't read the missing values. That is secondary. Understanding is exploratory data analysis is up to there only. Identify the missing values. Check whether there is missing values are there. Check whether there is outliers are there. Check missing values. Checking of outliers. Checking whether the data is skewed or normal. Check how many variables are discrete, categorical. These are all called as checks only, and you are going to check and you are going to analyze only. That's it. You are not going to do the next level of data pre-processing. Data cleaning and data wrangling both comes under next stage. That is data pre-processing stage. Pre-processing means before sending to the machine, processing the data is called as data pre-processing. Pre means before. Processing means before doing the machine learning. Okay, before applying the machine learning algorithms, you are processing the data is called as data pre-processing. Why you have to do the missing values? Why you have to treat the missing values? Because machine will not understand if there is empty pages. If I give for you a textbook I have given, first page is there, second page is there, third page is there, fourth and fifth page is not there, sixth page is there. You will understand. You can learn. First time, you are learning first time. Can you learn without empty pages are there in the textbook means can you learn? No, right? Same way. No one can learn. Even machine also cannot learn. So that is the reason we are going to do the missing values. Okay. Similarly, abnormal data is there. Then it is outliers. Automatically machine will mislead to that. Okay. So for example, some 60 years persons are also sitting in this class. What is the impression for other students they will get? According to 60 years students, I'm going to explain according to them. Okay, very slowly, very detailed. Automatically, other students will get sleep. Okay, others freshers will get sleep and they will sleep in the class literally. And then what is the opinion they are going to get on me? Right? Now for me, that particular person is going to be an outlier. Now, how I am going to treat this outlier? That is my choice. One, I'm going to remove that person. I'm going to say this class is only of 23 to 30 years group only is there in this class. So it is not better to sit in this class. Simply I will remove them. This is my first option. That everyone will do. Even a Lilliput also will do. But what is the special of SRK? Means now that 60 years person, what I'm going to do is, in the class, I'm not going to focus on you very clearly. I'm going to go with these people only, generalize. Apart from that, if you have any doubts, you contact me separately. I'm going to say that. So he is going to listen with these 20 years to 30 years with the same students. He is also going to listen, and he is going to write the running notes, or he is going to take the screen recording or photos or whatever it is. And after the class, he will ask me the number of questions and he will practice. And I will say to him very clearly that if these people are practicing for 1 hour, you have to practice for 4 to 5 hours. If you are ready only, join the course. Otherwise, no. I will encourage him and I will make sure he will be in the class one. Simply remove means what I will get. Okay. Getting the point. As a data scientist, removing the data is not your option. How you are going to treat them is the option. Why I have told you all these stories means how you are going to treat these two is the thing. Sir, remove the missing values, sir. Remove the outliers, sir. Then why you? If I ask LKG student also, he will say the same answer. If nothing is there in the box, what he will do means I will throw the box. He will say that one only, right? In the lunch box, nothing is there means what he will do? He will simply throw. Here also nothing is there. What he will do? He will remove. Who will eat the lunch? If nothing is there means who will eat? So you have to create something, right? That is with respect to this. Remove should not be your option, right? So this checking and understanding the entire data, don't do any kind of, sir, missing values are there. Missing values, how I have to do? That is second step. That is later. First, understand your data. Clearly understand your data. This, up to here, we are going to spend out of 60% of our time on this only. 60% of the time we are going to spend. First, understand. If you understand the past data very clearly only, you can understand the future data. Predictions can be made with respect to. If you don't know descriptive analytics, then how you can make the predictive analytics? Predictive analytics means predicting. When you want to predict new things, first you have to understand the old things. If you go to an astrologer and you ask that astrologer, sir, when I'm going to get this IT job as a data scientist, means he's going to say that in 2 months or 3 months, he is going to say some answer. Before asking that one, he'll ask what is your nakshatram and what is your zodiac sign and all these things he'll ask, right? And first, based on that, he'll understand your complete scenario, and based on that, he's going to say. Without past data, if you go and ask me, okay, understanding? So here, very clearly, you have to understand the entire data. Okay, so here I have told you how you are going to treat the missing values. Treating the missing values has been completed, and how to transform the data has been completed, how to encode has been completed, and along with the discretization completed. These 4 has been completed. How we are going to treat the outliers will be in the next class. Tomorrow we are going to see that one. Okay, because to show in the outliers, there is a box plot. So without showing the matplotlib in the box plot, how I can explain the outliers? So that is the reason. First I am completing the matplotlib and followed by outliers. Okay. Now, let me zoom this. So you are going to take the histogram, first understand the data, and from this you are going to understand whether it is a normal distribution or skewed distribution. And if it is a symmetrical distribution, means normal distribution, you are going to leave as it is. If it is a skewed, means what you have to do? Sir, if it is a skewed, what I have to do? Don't transform immediately. Just write in the markdown that this particular column is a skewed distribution. That is called as inferences. Inferences means conclusions. What you have got from this, what you have understand from this, you are going to write the notes now. Those are called as inferences. What you have understand from that. Okay. So you write, if it is a normal distribution, means okay. If it is a skewed distribution, means write in the markdown, make it as markdown and say it as this particular column is, this particular variable is skewed distribution. Okay. So when we are explaining to others, in the given data, we are having 5 columns with 5 continuous variables are there, and 4 discrete variables are there in your raw data. In your raw data, you have given to us 5 continuous variables and 4 discrete variables. Out of 5 continuous variables, 2 of them are skewed distribution, and with respect to one of them is having with respect to missing values. One column is having missing values and 2 columns are having skewed distribution. And in the discrete variable, you are going to analyze, and what are the inferences you have got, you are going to say. Similarly, from this, you are going to say. Now, this is raw data understanding. Once now you have understand, now you are going to start the data pre-processing. So this particular column is not important. For example, I want to predict the data scientist salary. Is the name is dependent? Name of the particular person is dependent on the salary? No, right? So I'm going to drop that particular column. If it is not important, means I'm going to drop. When I'm going to drop in this data pre-processing stage, I'm going to do that one. I'm not going to do in the raw data. Original data, I'm not going to do. In the original data, out of 9 columns, you have given 9 columns, 9 variables. Out of 9, 7 of them only important and 2 of them are not important. They are not having any relation. There is no use of these 2 variables. For example, for me, in this class, I want to understand about the students, means what is your father name? What is the use of for me? What is your father name? No use for me. Your mother name, there is no use for me. Whether you are staying in a hostel also, there is no use for me. What is your BTech percentage? Use for me. That is useful for me. Whichever the column, whichever is useful for me, those data only I am going to select. Whichever not useful for me, I am not going to select. So these things you are going to do in the data pre-processing stage. So before moving to the data pre-processing, first you have to complete the EDA, exploratory data analysis. Exploratory data analysis is mandatory. Okay, that is the reason in the companies, in the job description, they will write very clearly EDA part. So many people assume that they completed the machine learning course and they assume that this has been completed, that has been completed. If I ask what is meant by EDA, means they will say that I don't know what is EDA. Without EDA, how they are going to do the machine learning means simply the data they have given, taking the machine learning algorithm, fitting the data. They know only this. Okay. So in future, you'll understand, if you don't know as of now, means simply leave it. Okay. But most of the students, most of the people, okay, they simply blindly take the data, they will load the data and they'll see the answers. They'll not get that much of accuracy. They'll not get a good Kaggle rank. Some people are there. If I ask what is Kaggle, what is your Kaggle rank, means Kaggle. They'll give an expression, what is Kaggle first. Then what is, without knowing the Kaggle, how you are going to say as a data scientist? Right? See, subject wise, if you're having a good subject, means automatically everything will be done. Without subject, I want only job. By paying this fees, I want the job, means not only here, nowhere you can get. Might be some consultancies, these people might be giving. Here you can't get. That is for sure. And that too in my batch you can't get. Okay. Here only the subject matters. Nothing else matters. right? So the first one is histogram. The second one is box plot. You are going to see the box plot. How the box, and what is the use of box plot means it is going to identify the outliers. How the box plot has been designed means based on the IQR. So first in the given data, first it is going to identify the 25 percentile value, 50 percentile value, 75 percentile value, that is Q1, Q2 and Q3. And it is going to calculate the IQR, that is Q3 minus Q1. After calculating this, it is going to calculate the Q1 minus 1.5 into IQR. Similarly, Q3 plus 1.5 into IQR. Now, using this value, total 5 values are there. Using these 5 values, it is going to make the box plot. First, it is going to take this plot, which is the minimum value, first line. Next, it is going to draw the second line, Q1. This is the minimum value, Q1, Q2, Q3. It is going to draw one more line, Q3, and finally maximum. So it is going to make a plot like this. This is Q1 value representation. So Q1 value is, this is the value of Q1. This is the Q2 value. This is the Q3 value. Right? So here in the y-axis, it is representing each value it is representing. So the minimum value, what is the minimum value means? In the given data, Q1 minus 1.5 into IQR is the minimum value. That is the minimum value. What is the maximum value means? This is the maximum value. Apart from any value less than to this is an outlier, any value greater than to this an outlier. You are going to get a dot like this. If there is an outlier, you will be represented as a dot. In my given data, there is no outlier. So next, after this, we are going to start with the advanced visualization, that is CBurn, where I am going to take a data set, one of the data set. This is a real-time data set, which is US restaurant data set. Okay, so now here I am going to load the entire data set and I am going to work the univariate analysis, bivariate analysis, everything. For continuous variables separately, for discrete variables separately. Univariate analysis I am going to do and I am going to check. Similarly, I am going to see this one. So it is going to represent the outliers like this. So advanced visualization. So before moving to that, first let us complete the matplotlib. Once the matplotlib is clear means automatic, if matplotlib, sir, I understand the matplotlib class very clearly means automatically CBurn class will be clear. Automatically Tableau class will be clear. If you understand this one, remaining all are same. Because what is the change is only the syntax. Charts are same. Histogram remains same. Histogram is not designed based on the library. Histogram is based on the statistics. But that histogram is representation. We have to make something, right? For that, we have created a function of hister in the Python. So histogram is going to be constant. Everywhere histogram only. Whether you are going to do in the matplotlib, whether you are going to do in the CBurn, whether you are going to do in the Tableau, whether you are going to do in Power BI, whether you are going to do in QuickLive, whatever the things, whether you are going to do in the Excel sheet, histogram only. Is not going to change. What is going to change means syntax. Syntax is going to change. Histogram is going to be the same. Box plot is going to be the same. Scatter plot is going to be the same. Plots are going to be same. Only the syntax, the line of code is going to be different. Okay. Next one is scatter plot. We have seen the scatter plot, that is making the data points. First, it is going to take each and every data point and it is just plotting the points. So here this is the X values and this is the Y values. Whatever you have written here, it will be considered in the X. In the second position, whatever you have written, it is considered as the Y. For example, B comma A you have taken. Now the B values will be considered on the X-axis and A value will be considered on the Y-axis. So you have written A comma B means now X-axis will be the A values. That is 1 comma 2, 2 comma 0.4, 9 comma 7. B values are X comma. Now X comma Y is 1 comma 1. This is the first data point. 2 comma 3. This is the second data point. 0 comma 4 comma 0.4 comma 0.7. This is third data point. 9 comma 4, fourth data point. 7 comma 9, fifth data point. Here, the number of data points in the x-axis and number of data points on y-axis, if both are equal, only scatter plot will work. Here, if you have taken 6 values, here you have taken only 4 values, means scatter plot will not work. So how it is going to work? Once you have written the code like this plt.scatter, in the backend, first it is going to make the data points like this. After making the data points, a list of data points like this, now just it is going to plot the point. It will go to 1, 1 and it will keep a dot. After that, it will go to 2, 3 and it will keep a dot. First, it will identify where is 1, 1. This is 1, 1, 1 dot. After 2, 3, 2 and 3, 1 dot. 0.4, 0.7, 1 dot. After that, 9, 4. Where is 9? This is 9 and 4. This is dot, next dot. And this is final one. Like this, it is going to plot the each and every data point. By default, the color is blue and the point is circle. By default. If you want to change this one to star like this, means you have to use marker. If you want to change the color, means you have to use the argument called as color. If you change the argument as color, means you are going to change the color. If you give as marker, means it is going to change the point. Right? So you are going to have, see here I have taken the color. C is equal to, you can write C as full form. You can even write as color also. COLOR. You can write even like this. Okay. You can write the complete word or you can simply write C. Shortcut as C. And marker. You are going to take the marker. Okay. You can change according to your choice. Next one is line plot. Line plot is nothing but same as earlier. First, it is going to make the plots, each and every point, data point. So it is going to take each and every data point. Okay. So let us assume this is the example. And here it is going to take each and every data point. This is the first data point, second data point, third data point, fourth data point, and fifth data point. So if you apply the same for the same plot, line plot, if you go with line plot for the same thing, first it will go from here to here. From here to here, from here to here, third point, fourth data point is this one, and fifth one is this one. Like this, you are going to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Like this, you are going to get. Okay. So just observe. If you want, you can clearly observe. Here, instead of scatter, I'm going to write PLOT. First one, second one, third one, from here to here, fourth one, fifth one. Got it? So here I have written the marker also. So that is the reason markers are very clearly visible. If I don't write marker, means marker will not be visible. By default, it is going to take the circle now. Circle will not be visible. If you have written the marker very clearly, so marker is getting visible. If you observe the marker also, you can see clearly. Marker also you can see clearly. And if you want to increase the marker size, you are going to take marker size and you are going to give the marker size as per your choice. So here, sir, what are the arguments are available? Means just you can open this one and you can see with what are the arguments are available. Here 2 arguments you have to give. The first 2 arguments for which line plot has to be made, means first is scatter plot. If you don't give one of the argument, means by default that argument will be considered as the index values 0, 1, 2, 3. Okay. And next one is it is going to work and it is going to plot this one. So like this, it is going to increase the marker. If you want to increase the marker size, means the marker size will be increased. Size will be increased. Which size? Only the marker. Similarly, you want the line width to be increased, means you are having one more option called as line width. So like this, you are going to select whichever the argument you want. So just if you observe clearly from this, first it is going to make the scatter plot followed by line plot. Okay, line plot is made based on the scatter plot. Scatter plot is made based on the data points. Data points are designed based on the X and Y values. If you want any one data point like this, means this data point, how you are going to keep based on X and Y. Some X value should be there, some Y value should be there. Then only you can plot this point. Otherwise, you can't plot. Right? So that is the reason it is called as bivariate analysis. Two values you should have. X value, Y value. Right? Similarly, this one. Scatter plot, line plot. Generally, line plot is applied for the time series data. So whenever you are going with time series data, on x-axis you are going to take as the time, on y-axis you are going to take the corresponding y values. Okay. Next one is after the line plot, you can take as multiple lines in a single plot, and you want to compare the multiple lines means you have to take the multiple plots in a single one. If you take everything in a single cell means everything will be displayed in a single plot, right? Sir, if my x values are different, for example, here I have taken plt dot plot of x comma y. Okay, x value, y values. This is the x value is 0, y value is 1. And this is the point, assume, we have drawn. Now, same plt dot plot, I'm going to use plt dot plot once again. Plt dot plot. This time I'm going to take y comma z. X is not common value. I'm going to take y comma z. Then what happens? One time x should be taken on the x-axis. One time y should be taken on x-axis. How it is going to take? If I write instead of this as a y, for example, first let us load the data. Okay, this is the data x comma y comma that one. So if you do this one, you are going to get 3 lines at a time, because for everything x-axis values is common. For example, you have changed the x-axis value to this one to y. Now what happens in terms of, now y values will be considered on the x-axis. So what are the y values in terms of space? So now, oh, y is also x, that is the reason both are same. So let us go with some z comma z. So now if you observe this one, this is e comma e, something you have taken like this. See, sir, where is that first plot, second plot, where it is, sir, miss? Because that first and second plot is x comma y, those are minimal values. It has been integrated within this one already. By default, the color should be blue color. Where is blue color? So blue color is not visible. Why blue color is not visible? For example, first let us take like this. I have drawn the blue color. Okay, this is my blue color. First I have drawn. Over this, you have drawn the pink color. You have drawn the pink color over this. Completely you have closed and you have taken the extension like this. You have drawn the completely pink color. Now if you ask me, sir, where is blue color, sir, miss? How it is visible? It is in the back. Similarly, the orange color and blue color are in the black. It is completely closed off by the green. Because you have taken the plot like that. It is not visible. Okay. So, first, the same thing, plt dot x comma y, whatever this one is there. First you draw in your sheet, take a white paper and draw there. If manually for you possible, means Python also possible. If manually not possible, how Python is possible? What is the difference between manual and Python? Means instead of doing manually, the shortcut we are going to use by Python, the function only. But backend it has to also write the code only, right? Step by step code will be there. plt.plot means for you a function is there. For that function, number of lines of code is there backend. In that lines, that is also going to take as a graph sheet, and that is also going to apply as a plot only. Is that clear? So you have to take the common x values. Then only you can compare with 3 different things. So that is the reason I have taken with realistic example also on the same day. What is the minimum, maximum, and the average temperature of each day? Day 1, day 2, day 3, like this. This is a real example. So we are going to compare. Is that clear? Next one is subplots. Subplots is with respect to you are going to make multiple plots, and each subplot you are going to make separate, and at a time you can see all the things in a single shot. Is called as subplots. Out of which one of them can be scatter, one of them can be line, one of them can be histogram, one of them can be even the box plot also. One can be box plot. Whatever in this subplot down you are going to write, it is going to print the same thing. Is that done? Next, pie chart. Pie chart is for discrete variables. So for discrete variables, we are going to apply the pie chart, and it is going to apply on the principle with respect to percentage wise. So if you want to represent the values, miss, sir, I want to represent these values only. You can represent the values. If you want to represent the percentage, miss, you can represent the percentage. Auto percentage represents with respect to that one, right? Percentages. It is going to calculate the percentage. Okay. Auto BCT means auto percentage. Now let us move on to the bar plot. Bar plot is also used for subplot. Subplot is nothing but you are going to take the making into the plots, divide into the multiple plots at a time. You don't want, if you don't take the subplot, and if you give this total, how many plots are there here? PLT dot plot is the first one. PLT dot scatter is the second one. PLT dot plot is the third one. Fourth one. If you don't write subplot, if you remove the subplot, what happens means everything it will be in the, just remove. Okay, I have removed this one, this one, this one, this one. Subplot words I have removed. Completely I have removed the subplots. Now total 4 plots are there. Okay, so similar to above one, here you are having plot. 3 plots are there, 3 line plots are visible. Now I am going to take 3 plots like this and one more scatter plot on the single cell. In a single cell, everything I am going to consider. Now let us see what happens. Everything has been integrated in this same. Subplots, you can divide the separately. Is that clear? Sir, why he has been added in the same values means because every time you have taken x comma y, x comma y, x comma y only, right? First, it has drawn the x comma y like this. For the same x comma y, second it is drawn like this. For the same x comma y, third time you have drawn like this. Automatically, everything has been mixed in the single one. In the single one, everything has been mixed off. Because everywhere you have taken the common x comma y. Is that clear? That is the subplot. So by taking the subplot, what happens is you can represent in each plot separately. Right? And in the pie plot, this auto PCT percentage of 1.1F represents the percentage calculation after that 1 decimal, up to 1 decimal. So you are going to represent up to 1 decimal. Na? So auto percentage represents here 1 decimal, up to 1 decimal. This is the syntax. Okay. Syntax for representing 1 decimal. If you want to represent up to 2 decimals, means you have to use one more 1. After 2, 1 decimal. Two decimals. Up to 2 decimals. Is that clear? Just give me a minute. Next, let us go to the bar plot. So yesterday, whatever the example I have taken for the same example, that is 20, 30, 15, 10, 25, like this values, and face cream, face wash, toothpaste, bathing soap, shampoo, moisturizer. Same thing I'm going to consider here. One same example, I'm going to take list and this one. Instead of using pie, I'm using bar. Now bar, what it is going to do? On the bar, this is the X and this is the Y. On the X values, I want the labels. Means face cream, face wash. So on the X axis, it is going to write face cream, face wash. Like this, it is going to write. Okay. It is going to write on the X axis the words. And on Y axis, what it is going to take? List. List means face cream up to height of 20. Wherever the height of 20 is that, there till that it is going to make a bar. Face like this. Now, what is the difference between above one and below one? Here also it is representing the same values, same representation. But here you are representing in terms of percentage wise. When you want to represent the percentage wise, go with that. When you want to represent with respect to count wise, you go with this bar plot. Okay. So in the bar plot, see here, company, Google, Amazon, Microsoft, and Facebook, and their revenues. Okay. I am going to take the bar. So each company, what is their revenue? Here, I'm not going to calculate the percentage. I'm not going to calculate the percentage. Individual company-wise revenues I'm going to see, and out of all of them, Amazon is having the highest revenue. I'm going to make a conclusion from this plot that Amazon is having more revenue. Right? So just you are going to work like this. Is that clear? Now, if you go with respect to some kind of cryptocurrency, we are having Bitcoin and coins are there. Bitcoin and Ethereum coin, and we are having with respect to Dogecoin, Shiba coin, something we are having like this. Multiple coins are there. Okay. Now almost we are having 9,000 coins are available in the market as of now. Presently in the 9,000 coins are there. And the market capitalization. What is the market capitalization, miss? If I open this coin market cap is the website. Okay, if I open this website and if I open here, you are having with multiple coins will be there. Okay, in the world, whatever the coins are there, every coin will be here in terms of. Now here, if you observe this one, this total market is of, assume $2 trillion. The total capital is $2 trillion. Out of which Bitcoin itself, the market value, what is the Bitcoin market cap is this one. Market capitalization, which is approximately 408 billion. Okay, in terms of, right? So similarly for Ethereum, what is the market cap of Ethereum? What is the market cap of each coin like this? You are going to have with respect to market cap. Now, if you represent the same thing as a bar chart like this, for each coin like this, if you represent, then it is called as bar chart. Now, if you want in terms of, okay, sir, total out of 2 trillion, what is the Bitcoin percentage? How much Bitcoin market capitalization is having this? Almost 25% is Bitcoin market capitalization. Okay, example, assume. Then you are representing by pie chart. Exact values, I don't know. If you want to represent, then you are going to use pie chart. For each market capitalization, you want in terms of overall percentage wise. For example, I have invested in the one of the coin called as this one. This is my coin, which I have invested. Okay. So now this coin, what is the market capitalization of this coin individually? If I see miss, this is the market capitalization. Now, if I apply this market capitalization in terms of percentage wise, what is the market capitalization percentage wise? If I want to see the overall crypto market, this is having a contribution of 5%. This is one of the top coins, top 10 coins. It is one of them, right? So like this, you are having multiple coins and their values, and which one you feel it is going to increase, that you are going to invest. Which one you are going to feel as this is going to increase or this is going to decrease? You are having this many coins now. You are having Bitcoin, Ethereum coin, and ADA coin, XRP coin, SOL coin, that is Solana. Now you are having multiple coins. Now, if you observe, Solana it is trading at $28 as of now. Just present market, live market it is. Okay, 24 hours. Bitcoin's cryptocurrency will be for 24 into 7. There will be no holiday, there will be no gap. Okay, 24 into 7 it will work. So now, here you are having with $28.59. Now, why I have invested only in this? Because Bitcoin it is low miss, then I can go with even ADA, right? This is even $0.46 only. I can go with this one, right? I can go with even this less coin. Though it is better than this, ranking wise better, and but cost wise very low. Still it is better now. I can invest in this, right? Why I'm not investing in this? Why I'm selected this one? Because my analysis. I have analyzed when compared to this one, this is far better. And for